The walls of Paris held out against the English onslaught. England's King Edward and the Black Prince abandoned the siege. They marched towards Chartres to try their luck at conquering a less formidable target. But before they could attack, a violent storm hit the army. Killing 1,000 English soldiers in a tempest of hail and freezing winds. To Edward, this Black Monday disaster seemed like divine retribution. A sign that it was time to stop waging war and make peace with France's King Jean. But even as peace between kings was reached, the people of France were still living in bloodshed and turmoil. Between 1358 and 1370, France was in chaos. Peasant uprisings, rampaging bands of mercenaries, and civil war ravaged the country. Peasants rose in rebellion, killing their lords and wreaking havoc. Mercenary bands also roamed the land. Known as routiers, they had once been hired by the English to fight against the French, but were cut loose when peace was reached. They systematically ravaged and pillaged towns across France. And with King Jean prisoner in England, his son Charles the Dauphin faced homegrown attacks on his rule by powerful French lords, beset from all sides. The Dauphin's forces had to regain control over their own country.
Welcome to 1364 France in chaos. What was Liberté, Égalité, Fraternité? I mean, it's going to happen, but not now. Taking the throne in 1364, the Dauphin became King Charles V of France. Facing threats from peasants, mercenaries and invaders, the first test of his power would be to bring control to a realm in disorder. Crossbowmen are, against armored targets, we know that.
Having only recently been crowned King of France, Charles V dispatched his army to the French-held village of Évreux to forge order from chaos. From here, the army would move to extinguish three major threats. Bands of roving mercenaries harrying the countryside, a peasant uprising, and attacks from a rival for the French crown, Charles of Navarre. The French army would start by reclaiming the rebel-held villages of Cocherel, Jouy, and Croissy.
Croissant? I didn't pay attention. What they named the... Did she say croissant? I mean, I like a croissant. I mean, this is not... Oh dear. No, the tower mustn't die. It's not a joke right now. I didn't understand it correctly. Did they name the city after croissant? Was croissant named after a city? I don't know. I don't know. Okay. 1, 2, 3. You guys go chop trees. Very good, very good. Do we have stone somewhere? Only wood. That's problematic. But we We can make this work. Okay. There are forces.
As the French army struggled to regain control of the countryside, they were struck by a band of English routiers. These mercenaries had been cut loose by the English army and were plundering the countryside in order to make a living. The French forces eliminated the routier attack, but more were still raiding the countryside in search of provisions and riches. The routier demanded payment from the French, or they would continue their horrifying raids.
Pay tribute. No. Oh, we don't have monastery. And I can't heal my units. That's a problem. Well, at least we can build stone walls. I mean, we need a market, yes, but... Oh, there's no market, is there? What? There's no market? Oh, Jesus. Why?
Mandesqued, una sial por la bateria.
La bourse? Sì, comprendo. Come sono la cose? Quid la bourse?
Ordinete es facile, cavalier. Attention, second mandement. Second mandement. Quitamus.
Arrate, arquers.
Audite si comprende.
Parade pour venir. Parade pour la belle si boys. Laborans en limans. Mandes moco. Coses labour sperans. Yom solo la cose. Parats pour labourar. Chito. Cose sera massonata.
Dolme requites in avant. Face, ove.
Sagita in arco. Parat inherence.
What would that cost if we build... Oh, 150! That's exactly what we have. Okay.
Audite come mondes.
Homes, preparate. Sisiate. Seco materia. Parat porveni. Vido, si.
Tolme bien.
Six camino. Restituo.
Restituer.
Parade pour venir. Parade pour la
That's
bourrade.
quite an important term. You should remember it from school. Stable, archery, influence. We could go for
La
stable.
Bourse-Pérance.
Labour, spérance. Buon laburo.
Io ma sono la...
Attention, novos ordines.
Buon laburo.
Arquier parade.
Vado laborar. Me plect.
Ordine tenet.
Demandes.
Attention, Simonier.
Oh, fuck, Jesus.
Facile, cavalier. Tombé. Tourbe. Ordine tenet. Orchestre.
Demandes. Preparate, arquiers. Parade, intendo. Momentesi, arquiers.
Colones, sì, bene. Io ma sono la cosa.
Equites attenden. Pace move.
Parade, skelet.
Vado laborar. Vale. Demandes.
Mondesqued. Colonel. Bido, sì.
Preparate, arquiers.
Colonel Paraitis. Sito.
Tourma.
Arco parade pour laborar. Cos'è sarà massonata?
Mandesqued. Seco materia.
Tolme bien.
La Bourse-Pérance.
Out. Pace move.
Parates, servientes. Lanque parade. Sagita in arco. Parade, si. Vale. Lanque sopra. Lanque meco. Arco parade. Audience.
Colonel, sì, comprendo. Qued. Me. Repsito.
Parate,
Parade pour venir.
Vale. Arquier parade.
Io ma sono la cose. Labour, spérance.
Tourma. Sagita in arco.
Quito.
Qued l'amour.
Vado laborar.
Ci sommes. Perfect. Cose sera massona.
Okay, what do we need for...
Sagita in arco.
Wait, what?
Qued labour.
Built by a villager, 1,000 turned food to gold. Oh, we don't have gold, that's a problem. Oh, they're building a battering ram. What?
Arquier parade.
Equites. In
Damn it.
Bene, arco. Barrier est préparé. Vale. Lanques, beignet.
Atten secund mandement.
Momentesi, arquier. Bene, bene. Arquier, in avant.
Tolme bien. Quitamus. Audite, sì, comprendo.
Mondesqued.
Atten sequid.
Momentesi, arquier.
Et ci libère.
Tutto di comme me. Gli affect. Labour, spérance. Cos'è sarà ma...
Parade pour venir.
Parate.
Parate.
Parate, arquier. Arquier, parade. Illigant.
So, first we need to smash the English routiers' attacks.
Odite. In avanti, serviette. Vale. Dito Monsi.
Parokes!
Presente l'enquête.
Quella... Ici Vatos.
L'enquête parade. Coursone, nella cieca.
Eleganz!
Arquière parade. Tourma.
Quitamus! Simonier!
Colonel Parenté. Bien fait.
Resti quoi?
Sagita in arco. Ome Venies, serviette. Pace.
Ambos si somes. Vado labura.
Arco parade.
Oh, Jesus. The next attack?
Out Simonier!
You know what? We're going to take them head on.
Parate. Obedio.
Mandesque.
Parats pour labura.
L'enquête parade. Vale. Si.
Ordine tenets! Come Mondes! Pace Mondes!
Arco parade. Parate. Bene, bene. L'enquête. Vito vado.
Ordine tenets! Est facile, cavalier!
D'intérêt tournard.
Mondesqued. Modeski Olmelier.
Sont ici.
Est facile, cavalier! Ite ferir l'ennemi!
Si.
Attenzi! Comprendo! Enqueste de battaglia!
Parate, arquère. Parate. Ah, in avant.
Quitamus!
Corones sunt ici.
Audite come Mondes! Ordine tenere quites in avanti! Attenzione! Novos ordines!
IT infantry?
Olmelier!
Okay.
Second mandement!
L'enquête parade.
Enqueste de
Les
battaglia!
personnes sont ici.
Quando si comprende! Cavaliere equite!
Odite. Vale. Arco parade. Omes.
Au pace, move! Second mandement! Ite ferir l'ennemi!
The French discovered the Routier hidden camp and could put an end to the English raids if they could destroy the camp.
L'enquête sans course. L'enquête sans perfecter. Preparate, arquère. Enquête.
Uh-oh.
Ambulance. El Navarra. Venies, servientes. Romain, allons-y. Servientes in retornar. Obedio. Arad, esto azul. Ambulance. El Navarra. Allons-y. Esto azul. Arad, Oguetite in retornar. Preparate, arquère. Preparate, arquère. Bene, bene. Venies, servientes.
Parats pour labura. Parat pour venir. Affect.
Arquier parate. Parate. Nintendo. Bene, bene. Audience. Parate. All'odi, si è. Parates, serviente. Vale. Arco parate. Hommes, préparate. Arquier parate. Odite. Hommes, in avant, servientes. Parate, ambulance. Parate, venies, servientes.
Mande squad.
Arco parate. Cos'è
Squad labour. Vado laborar.
Parate, intendo.
Ascolte et de retournar. Comme
Odite. Allons-y. Tourna. Quemandes.
Attenzite.
squad, mais
Prompt. Arco parate.
Odite, sì.
E celi mandement.
In avant.
Hommes, in avant, servante. Vale. Tourna. Momentesi, in avant, arquier.
Sì. Odite, serviente sito.
labour.
Préparate.
Ambula.
Esto vamos, vale tous.
Parate. Parate, audience. Quemandes. Parate pour venir. Vado laborar. Parate, medio. Si è.
Bene, odite. In avant, serviente. Odite. Bene, odite. Odite, ite.
Let's wait for a couple more units.
Sakita in Moment, medio.
What?
Attention.
Where are my workers? Repairing this, hello? What the fuck? What are you doing? Repair this! The fuck? Sorry, but what the heck?
Odite. Audio.
Point, me. Parate, arquier. Demande.
Odite.
Bene.
Squad. Mais parate pour si, comprendo. Cosa si mano sonata?
Arco parate. Arquier parate. Arquier ambulance.
Si sauve.
Attention. Bene. Bene, ite. Bene, odite. Ite.
Arco parate. Tourna.
Mande squad. Vado laborar.
Parate. Bene, bene.
Odite.
Valentino!
Why? Why are you running away? Repair this. I mean, I know why, because they finish repairing it and then they're like, let's attack, let's run outside the walls. I mean, who programmed this AI?
In avant, serviente.
Oh dear, Microsoft. Well, okay, they didn't program it, but the company is responsible for this. That's well, or not by, or by at least financed by Microsoft. Oh dear, men at arms. Interesting. That's a problem. We need to finish this quickly.
Odite.
Oh, for fuck's sake! Stop running away, you know what?
Labour Spérance!
Odite, ite. Odite. Ite. Squad labour. Bene, odite.
Quemandes. Presente l'enquête. Sigene. Parate. Nintendo. Tourna. Moment, voyez.
Squad labour? Colonel
Udite serviente. Udite odio. In comune course. Attention. In avant. Manège pour bataille.
Oh Jesus, what the fuck? Stop running away!
Parade parvenir.
Where the...
Escole. Raté. Blindé, arquière. Barrière. Arquière, in avant.
What's their end goal here? Do they want to fight 14 soldiers melee?
In avant, servientes.
With the Routier camp destroyed, mercenary attacks were no longer a threat.
In avant. Udite. Udite.
Sa guitare arquière in avant.
Attention. Udite.
Ah, at least stone and gold.
Sito. In avant, servientes.
L'encaisse, blindé, présentez l'encaisse. Parade, ambulance.
Venez, Udite. In avant. Udite.
Ecceli, sì, bene.
Colonnes recruti bene. Colonnes subido si. Qued, sito.
Mandesqua. Gli affect.
Parade.
Udite, servientes. In avant.
Oh lol.
Qued d'abour.
1,200 food, 600 gold. We have that. Why can't we build a landmark? Odd.
Attention. Cadence pour bataille.
Escolte, vido, sì.
Tuts odido si. Et chance de retour.
Tuts, movamos, vale tu.
Tuts odiafec.
Commune course. In avant.
Oh, mais.
Udite.
Ecceli, mandema.
Mando laboura. Momente si, obedio. Si est.
Qued, me?
Io ma sono la cose.
Labour spérance. Cose sera massona.
Bene, Udite.
Odite.
Si.
Parate.
In avant. In avant, servientes. Obeio. Odio. Udite. Quitte. In avant, servientes. En commune course.
Maybe we should win this.
Udite, servientes. In avant.
In taking the village of Jouy, the French army was closer to stemming the peasant rebellion and regaining control.
Escolte bene. Quid me?
Udite, servientes! In avant! Vadens pour battaglia!
Parats pour la boire. Inerans. Ratetera bene.
Attention! Odio!
The central monastery town of Cocherel would continue to send out rebel attack parties to weaken the French army.
Bene audite!
Parate Penies, servientes.
Labour Spérance.
Well, we can't. Build landmark.
Parat pour venir.
Près de l'amour.
Audite! Bene audite! Si.
I see we need a monk to take over the sacred side.
Audite!
The village of Poissy, rich in gold deposits, was a crucial town for the French to reclaim.
Parate pour venir.
Attention! Siete cavalli! Audite, servientes!
The French army defeated the rebels at Poissy and took control of the gold-rich village. The central monastery town of Cocherel was still under the control of rebel peasants. The French army would have to take it before they could launch an assault on Charles of Navarre.
Audite, servientes!
Quid d'amour?
This would be easier with a level 3 town. I mean, sure, we can build stone walls and towers and stuff,
Attention! Encommende!
but it's not the same.
Ome intendo.
Ecce...
Temps de retournar.
Secum edo.
Para bene!
Ici va toast.
Run, Forest!
Audite! Vadens
Tutti, si, comprendo.
Escolte bene!
Si, bene. Vido, si.
Ouais, parate intendo.
Si, comprendo.
Con me.
Bene, bene. Allons-y.
Ecci li merci. Comprendo.
Parate audience.
I mean, we could build sort of stone towers, walls and stuff. I'm not sure if it's really necessary. Or we could just destroy them.
Audite. Omes, prévu. Parate arrière.
The French army took control of the rebel villages, and the peasant uprising was
Que
subdued.
ferais-je donc? Veille avec ton snooze à la voie bien brillamment.
Inches mit vos.
Oyez, vers où faut-il archer?
But to keep control over the region, they would need to defend its center of influence, the monastery at Cocherel. Northeast of Cocherel, Charles of Navarre's army had established a fortified camp. The King of Navarre sought to make himself ruler of France as well. He intended to press his claim by destroying the newly arrived royal forces.
Lors bâtisse s'estuie.
I think that's the only river crossing, so that's fun.
Ayez cure au commandement. Compagnon, ayez bien cure.
En besoin.
Lors bâtisse s'estuie. Chevalier Bastille.
Paillettes mouais besoigne. Donc,
Oil, messieurs des mouets.
Bien, bien. Vaïs.
Que faut-il donc besoigner?
Tous te y a Lauretz.
besoigne à faire. Giovanni Basti.
Compagnon, ayez bien cure.
Dicte convent en la voie.
Oyez les ordonnances.
Vaillez, il trèche sens nul arrest.
Oil, si toast.
Chevalier Bastille.
I knew it. These French toasts are daggers from where they shouldn't.
Oyez tout le monde.
Oyez, venez-vous. Les commandements, son jumper, quoi une folle.
From where do they come?
Pour être à l'adversaire. Veici les commandos actions.
Oyez tous. Allons, s'adresse tous. Giovanni.
Oyez, Veici, commandement, j'obtempère. Si comme le volet. Mec ton snooze à la voie bien brillamment. Compagnon, ayez bien cure, voir à part main.
Oyez, j'y vais exploiter.
Sur quoi me faut-il traire?
Lors bâti, je s'estuie. Ayez cure, Oaks, venez-vous, et si des Spartans. Accostrez-vous pour des Spartiers.
Un besoin. Que faut-il donc besoigner?
Veici les commandements, j'obtempère.
Oh, me faut trail. Tous oeil, mestière de moi. Lors bâtisse.
Compagnon, ayez si comme le volet.
Oyez.
Ayez cure, Oaks, commandement.
Advertance, tous le monde.
Ah.
Avant,
Oyez, Veici, obéis au commandement.
Ah, there's a river crossing. Now I understand.
Oyez,
Secure Hawks Commandement.
Besoigné à faire? Oh yes. Marche arrière, moi Trestos. Manouer assouvi. Fort vos services. Homme fort.
It's Veichi Commandement.
Leurs batiges s'essuient.
Compagnon, ayez bien cœur.
Advertance tout le monde.
Accordé.
Giovanni Basti.
Bien envoyé.
Veichi les Commandement. Jambert, Quain Nafol. Accostrez-vous. Nos actions.
Que faut ouais, qui baisse donc? Giovanni Bastir! Advertance. Allons, ça Trestos. Pour servir!
Compagnon, ayez bien cœur. Annoncez à Poutinaire.
Oh yes, tout le monde. Pour vous servir. Lors devance le salaire.
Veichi les Commandement. Accostrez-vous. Nos actions.
Besoin. Là, c'est moins exploité. Chose de yalla, ouais.
Oyez Veichi Commandement.
Oil.
Venez-vous. Et c'est des Spartans.
Pushing up the hillside, the French discovered Charles of Navarre's camp.
Holy. That's a lot of stuff.
The French army had repelled Charles of Navarre, stemmed the revolt, and held back the raids of the Routiers. In the struggle for control over France's lands, the king still clung to power.
Well, lection number 1, you don't need wide variety of units, just spearman and bowman. That's enough. Ah, a page from history, the Routiers. Even in periods of truth, France suffered. Is it France? Yes, it's France. Oh my goodness, I'm so good. Not pillaging. Sorry for that. Mercenary companies and individual soldiers recruited across Europe and then dismissed without having gained enough booty would go about taking what they wished for the population. There was a similar dilemma back in the Roman Empire in the beginnings. They promised every soldier, after a certain amount of time served in the army, a patch of land. And then when they served, came back, survived the wars, the land was already split up between a few very rich people, or they hadn't enough land at all from the beginning, and then they were like, there is this small patch of land in Egypt or Spain, have fun. But these were Romans, these were Italians, and of course they wanted space in Italy. In the 3060s, more than 15,000 of these routiers were looting and pillaging across the kingdom, going so far as besieging Avignon to extract a ransom from the Pope. When King John sent his armies against the most feared mercenary group, they crushed the overstretched royal forces. Even the Pope, calling a crusade against the brigands, failed to stop their predations only by paying off these predators and sending them to fight wars abroad, was France finally rid of them long enough to regain its strength. Okay. That we have seen already, right? Yes. The warhorse.
A warhorse was no ordinary horse. In battle, it was a knight's comrade in arms. By nature, horses are prey animals, but the warhorse had to become a predator. They had to be aggressive and fearless, to charge enemy lines and to trample anyone in their way. To achieve this, they were specially bred and highly trained to fight, to lash out with their hooves on command. This meant warhorses were expensive and so conveyed high status.
Warhorses were incredibly strong and powerful, but they were also vulnerable. This is a really big target, and it's much easier to shoot a horse than it is to hit its rider. So just as men wore armor, horses wore armor too.
A knight didn't ride his warhorse on the road to battle. It was far too valuable. Instead, they were led by the knight's groom. A knight would take multiple warhorses on campaign, as he would need to change to a fresh horse several times during battle. Once geared up, the knight, his horse, and his weapons became a highly effective system.
The heavy cavalry lance had a small ring called a graper, and this locks into my arm, forming a hard linkage, so that the lance can't shoot backwards on impact.
The war saddle was also crucial. With its high back, it locked the rider to the horse.
This means with the graper and the saddle, horse, man, and weapon are all locked together to create one giant horse-powered projectile.
The main purpose of heavy cavalry was to charge straight into the enemy and smash through their lines. The impact charge crashed into an enemy with terrifying force. It required horses with exceptional courage and power.
Interesting. I knew some of it. I wasn't aware by fact that they carried multiple war horses on a campaign. I mean, it makes sense to change it, even though I thought they only had one warhorse and several ordinary horses, but it makes sense. If the battle takes a long time, you need several warhorses. Okay, so until we meet again.